welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Brittany here. I am going to do the tutorial for the embellishment box, purse box that I had created. I had made it to participate in Janae Guzman, who is also Happy Mail Obsessed on Instagram. She is hosting a giveaway, and I made a cute little embellishment box purse. Of course, I already sent it off, and but I'll have the link to my video share so you guys can have a reminder of what I created. And I have been asked if I could do a tutorial, so here I am today with that. So what you'll need is very simple, and what you'll need is 3 pieces of 8.5 by 11, and you are going to need 2 pieces that measure 8.5 by 7. So I have 2 of those. Excuse me. And then you're going to need another piece that measures 8.5 by 5. And then this is going to be for the little front flap. And then you'll need a piece that is 3 by 7. And this is going to be for your lid. So for this we're going to grab our 8.5 by 7 piece. And on the 7-inch side, starting off on the 7-inch side, we're going to score at 1 inch. Then flip it. So now we're on the 8.5. We're going to score 1 inch, flip it one more time, and then score it at 1 inch. So you're going to do that to both of your 8.5 by 7 pieces here. And then for the flap here, excuse me, and then for the 8.5 by 5, you're just going to have it turn to the 8.5 inch side, and you're going to score at 1 inch. And then the last piece, that 3 by 7, this is going to be your lid. You are going to score at 1 inch all the way around. So you're going to go 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch. So all the way around, we're going to score it at 1 inch. So now that we're done with the scoreboard, so we're going to take our 2 pieces that we had, the 8.5 by 7. We're going to take these 2 pieces, and on the first one, we're going to cut this little box right here. We're going to cut it on the side. So here's the little box here, little box up top, and we are going to just cut that up until the score line. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then for the other piece, we're going to cut little squares out. Super simple. And then now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to varnish my score lines. When I originally made this, I used 110-pound cardstock, and then I layered it with the designer paper, and so it all depends on how much stability you want. Right now for this tutorial, I'm using 65-pound weight cardstock, and just for the tutorial purpose, I'm not decorating this or anything. And so it's really up to you of what you want to do. Alright, so now we're going to take the one where we still have the squares on it, and we are going to glue those pieces to the box like this. And you can use any adhesive that so much as the Still Your Heart. We all know I love my hot glue gun, and that's what I'm going to use because it's super quick. And you're just going to tuck that in. So we have that. And now we're going to take this piece. Now this part I'm going to actually use glue. For this bottom flap, we're going to add glue to this bottom flap. I am using my Art Glitter Glue. And then we are going to, I like doing it like this so I can get it evenly. Lay it on top and then put the flap down. Making sure you're not going over that crease. So it's just easier for me to do it that way. And take my bone folder and then just go across that so make sure it is adhered. And then we're going to do the same thing for these little flaps right here as well. We're going to add glue to the flaps so you can go ahead and close it together. take the foam folder and press it down. And do the same thing on the other side. So there, so we already have the box. It's the, this works too for like the other embellishment boxes, like, what is it, Dollar Tree has like those really, the small ones. Let me see if I don't have it handy, but they have smaller ones. So all you have to do is just measure it out to see what it fits. This, I measured out to fit this one that you get from the automotive section. So it just goes in just like that, easy as pie. But of course, if you want to do something like this, you probably want to do more depth if you're going to add dimension to it. Alright, so we're done with that part, and now we're going to take that 8.5 by 5 piece, and then we're just going to fold on that line. And this is completely optional. When I made this, I wanted it to be so there's a part that could have like a card or something like that, or to stick additional handmade embellishments or goodies or anything like that. So that's the only reason why I created the flap. So that's completely optional. And I'm just going to add glue to that, and I like doing it from the side. So this is where the opening part, where that flap was here, so I want to do it that way, and just line that up, and then gotta get that down, and then there is your little flap. And then if you want to add Velcro or something, or magnets to keep it closed, if you want to add magnets, you want to add the magnets first before you put your designer paper on. Otherwise, if you want to do a Velcro closure, you'd want to add the Velcro on after you use your designer paper. So that part of the box is done. Now we're going to grab our lid, and we are going to, with the squares from the long side, we are going to just cut up on that score line up to the score line. And then also I'm going to minor my sides here as well, so they're not poking out when I fold it all up. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and fold on all those score lines. And then just like you would any other box, you would go ahead and fold in your tabs. You're going to add your adhesive to the sides of the tabs, and you're just going to go ahead and fold it up. Again, I am going to do my best friend hot glue gun. On this side. Alright, so now we have that. Now one thing I forgot to do, and I did it what I had originally made the box to. I forgot to do it on here. So remember once upon a time ago when we were making embellishment boxes, and we always cut this piece off so it'd just be this, but then we got to the point where we left the tab on and wanted to start putting tassels and dangles and hanging elements on there. So that's why I created the box the way I did, and that way you can go ahead and keep it on there. But it'll be hard, depending on what kind of tassel or whatever that you make, it'll be hard for it to sit in there with your lid on. So you're just going to take like an X-Acto knife or something, and then you're going to cover your box. Oops. You're going to go ahead and cover it up, and then kind of feel where you have that point. Like I kind of actually like indent it, so that way it's easier for me to kind of see. So I kind of indented it so I know where to make my cuts. And of course you want to do it a little bit wider. So pull that off, and I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife. Again, I made this mistake when I was making it. This is probably best to do it before you form your top. So I'm just going to look at my indentations, and I am just going to take my knife and just go straight across. And hope for the best that it goes straight. And then create a little slice there, and then I'm going to go ahead and be able to cut my piece out. So now I have my little piece on the top. Of course, the first one that I made, it was a lot straighter than what this one turned out. But then that way, though, you have the room. Oops. You have the room for your tassel. So if I were to, let me see here. So if I had something like this, that can hang on the outside, just like it would, kind of like a purse. There's that. And then, now, you can go ahead and send it like this. I made mine into kind of like a purse. So what I did was I took my crocodile and I did my hole punching. And I brought it all the way the furthest back that it could go. And I just went inside on my sides and I punched a hole. And then do this. I didn't realize what side hole I was looking for. And then do the same thing on the other side. So then now you have your holes, and then you would just put in your ribbon or seam binding. I did the beaded trim. You can do that, and then just make sure you knot it on the inside so it would stay in place. And then that way, when you have your embellishment box in, get in there. Here we go. So you'll have your trim or whatever you're using coming through the holes there, and then so there you go, your flap is on the inside, so whatever your additional goodies or notes or whatever. And then yeah, that is pretty much it. Super simple and easy, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. But thank you so much, guys, and I hope that you try it out. If you do, make sure you tag me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.